guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives Salt Lake City. This is part 1 of the reunion for season 4. So let's get into it. So before we get into it, we're gonna get a little spicy, just a little, and talk about this statement Monica made, y'all. So Monica came out with this statement as to say why she really got a divorce from her husband. Now, it is talking about DV, so we're going to be serious, but I'm also going to be real and upfront about the way I feel about this statement. But this is what she had to say. She says, I have received several questions about my divorce. Yes, the affair happened over a decade ago. No, that is not the reason for our divorce. I understand you all have questions trying to figure out the reason for the divorce now. I have debated answering this publicly or not. However, when I did apply to be on the show, I had planned on bringing awareness to this subject and speaking about it openly. Another subject which was discussed several times along with the others that wasn't shown in the email that was shown on last night's episode. The reason for our divorce was because of domestic violence. My ex was arrested a couple of times for domestic violence on me in front of our girls and violations of protection orders. I had hoped to speak about this on the show to help better explain why things are the way they are in my family currently, to bring awareness to the women dealing with these issues and to help them see that they are not alone. I hope anyone going through this issue knows that I am with you. I hope you see that you can move on from this horrible situation and begin to give your children a better life away from those circumstances. That is that there is a life after abuse, and that it wasn't your fault, and that you have a tribe of people ready to carry you through. So before I give my thoughts, this is what I want to say. DV and any type of abuse, whether it be financial, sexual, physical, or emotional, is very serious. And there are so many resources out there for men, women, and people who identify with anything in between. So if you really feel like you're in that situation, please seek help and to get out of that situation. You don't deserve to be diminished, demeaned, physically or harmed in any type of way. You don't deserve it. So if you have an opportunity to get away, definitely get away. Screw if you feel ashamed, if you're embarrassed, you don't deserve it. And even though I don't see it for Monica and I think that lady crazy, what she said is true. There are plenty of people out there that will rally behind you and carry you through this term or like this situation to a better one. Now, here's my thoughts. When I read this the first time, I rolled my eyes. And the reason why is not because I don't believe Monica. I just feel like this is very convenient right now. And I think that is the issue with Monica. You've been on this show and you have not talked about your abuse. You were so quickly and excitedly ready to tell everyone, oh yeah, I F my brother-in-law. And it's like, okay. Well, why did you do that? You had all this time to explain it, and now because you don't like the fact that people are calling you a whore and a slut and a bad person, now we're trying to do that. It feels gross. Because that is something that is serious, and that is something you should have led with to begin with. To hold it in your back pocket and be like that I don't like that. I don't because it don't feel right. Like that's why I be feeling like something wrong with her. Because why would you wait till now to tell us like, well, the real reason isn't because of the affair, it's actually because of this. But then it also doesn't make sense that you're saying the affair happened a decade ago, but the streets are saying you was with that man for a whole year. Like y'all were cheating on y'all spouses for 18 months. So that's a year and a few months. And they also said that you were with your husband while you were with Jen Shah, like y'all were living together. Like you had asked him, this is all alleged, they're saying allegedly, that you had asked him to take you to Jen Shah's house when Coach Shah needed someone to do a repair, and you went with them. So if y'all were really separated for 2 years, like you're saying, or y'all were going down that road, why were you still going on jobs with him? That's the part. Like Monica be lying. And I would hope that this is not something she is lying about, because that is very serious. But some people said they saw that it's public record. So if it's true, then I feel bad that she went through that, but that does not change the way I feel about her. It really doesn't. But I just wanted to talk about that because that's what people are talking about right now. And it seems to be very split where some people don't believe Monica. They feel like she's lying out of convenience and to save herself from being called all types of names. Other people feel like, no, she's telling the truth. It doesn't matter how we see her. She probably really did go through this. It's public record. I haven't seen anybody post a public records, but I'm going to err on the side of that it did happen. I'm of the belief that you're supposed to believe people that come out about abuse when they speak about it. Now, if you start to get information that makes you question it, that's like, I don't know, then I feel like you do have a right to question it. But in the beginning, I do think it's imperative to believe people when they first come out about what has happened to them. But sorry to have a heavy topic before we get into this mess, but let's get into this mess. So let's talk about the reunion. So let's get into the fashions first. First, if you new here, what's up? Because I did get a few new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not, you already know what I'm about to say. I hate it because nobody is in theme. I don't know why they don't give these girls themes. Like the way they give the themes to Potomac, New Jersey, and Atlanta, we need to give themes to them. Why are we all wearing different colors and it feels like we're going to different places? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And y'all know I don't like it. I think the only person I thought that looked the best, that I would give best dress to, is Monica. Her makeup looked nice. The dress looked really pretty on her. And even when she sat down, it looked really nice on her. Everybody else's outfits, they didn't look bad. The only person's outfit I felt made them look cheap was Whitney. All them necklaces. And I was like, are you going to the beach? Like, it gave very much resort wear. And I get it. Like, it was supposed to be like Bermuda. But I'm like, it's a reunion. Still dress like we're going to the reunion. Give me elegance. Overdo it. It's dressed like it's Easter Sunday in the Black community. If you don't know that reference, when it's Easter Sunday in the Black, everybody puts on their best. That's what I expect when it comes to the reunions. And I liked Angie's outfit, but Angie's outfit gave club wear. Like, they could go bar hopping and she would have a good time. Lisa's outfit was okay. The only thing about Lisa's outfit is like when she sat down, it kind of crumpled. I thought Heather's dress was nice. I like the color on her, but it was kind of blah. Same with Meredith. Meredith's dress looks nice, but it was blah on her. But we open up the episode. They're all pulling up in New York, getting ready in their rooms. You got Heather, Whitney, and Lisa praying in the elevator. I did think it was really cool that they kept showing the behind the scenes of the people in productions, like with all the monitors. And like, I know when there's like an epic moment, I know they be going up and back there. I know they be like, I know they do. I know they get excited, especially when they think it's going to hit for the fans. But I do think it was cool to see all the screens and see production like working and seeing their papers, and that I thought that was really cool. So they all come and sit down. The order is on the right side of would it be right? No, left side of the couch. Wait. Because if right, my bad, y'all. Got turned around. On the right side, it goes Heather, Lisa, then Angie. On the left side, it goes Monica, Meredith, and then Whitney. And what I will say is, although I think Monica is out her mind, I got to give it to her. You're a newbie and you got first chair. That has never happened. Never happened. Okay, so she did her big one with that one. But I really do feel like they are milking Monica, and I tweeted this out. I honestly think Monica is not coming back for season 5, and if she does come back for season 5, it will be in like a limited capacity. And I really feel like they're going to dangle this carrot in front of Monica that like, oh, you'll get your contract back as long as Monica doesn't go rogue and does some out-of-pocket stuff. And because I think they're just using Monica. Because Monica, to me, is what desperation for fame is. And you don't have a plan. Because she did all of this, getting clicked up with Jen Shaw, doing the reality Von Teese thing and hoping it was going to hit like grits. And then now you don't have anything because you alienated everybody on the cast. It would be different if if that count was solely about Jen. Solely about Jen, and y'all was like eating her up. Yes, the girls would be uncomfortable around Monica and feeling like, but they probably would be like, well, she only had an issue with Jen Shaw. She didn't have an issue with anybody else. Even though Monica wasn't the sole person to run Reality Von Teese, there were several other people that ran the account that legit were saying very mean and nasty things about the other girls that Monica was a willing participant in. So now it makes you feel gross to be around her, because it's like, girl, even though you may not have wrote those things about us, you still co-signed what they said about me. So how can I trust that you won't do it again? So that's my thing. Like, you did all of this, but you don't have a plan. So Monica walks down the steps by herself. She sits down. They all looking at her. We find out that none of the ladies have really spoken to Monica since Bermuda. Monica was saying it like, oh my gosh, she was like, they have spoken, but I haven't spoken. Yeah, they not speaking to you, lady. Then they start talking about Jen Shaw, and they're worried about the show and feeling like maybe the show wasn't going to be a success without her. This is my thing. They said they weren't worried, but that's a lie, because the only reason they asked Mary back is because seasons 1 through 3 was carried off the backs of Jen Shaw and Mary. Yeah, pretty much. The major conflicts, that the weird outbursts, the memes that we got were really because of Mary and Jen Shaw. So y'all definitely should have been worried. And I know y'all was worried. Andy asked them about the guilty verdict, and they were like, well, we didn't know she was guilty, because I do remember Jen was still professing her innocence all the way up until the reunion for season 3. And then when they were filming the reunion is when they found out that she pled guilty. And they were shook. But I guess she told them that, like, I'm only taking a guilty plea just because, but I really didn't do it. And so they were just like, Then Whitney pretty much says, like, I feel like I was the only one that was very vocal about things not adding up with Jen. And I will give Whitney that. I don't think she was as vocal as she could have been louder, but she was very she stood in her opinion of being like, something about all of this doesn't sound right, and the dots are not connecting and things are not adding up. And everybody else is like, yeah, we'll give you that. And Andy was like, well, what would happen if y'all would speak out against Jen? And they were like really bad, like vicious attacks, like she would retaliate by like smearing your name and things of that nature, which is true. We saw Jen say some really nasty things about people, especially if she felt like they were going up against her and they didn't have her back, i.e. Heather, that she called a walrus and Shrek. And Heather still decided to be friends with her. Self-esteem is important. Very important. So we do Monica's package first. They show her and Lisa getting into it about the tone deaf comment. You got the wannabe comment that Lisa threw back at her. You got Monica age shaming Lisa. You got Lisa saying you want to be me. And then Monica says something. So before we get there, because sometimes I be getting ahead of myself with the reunions, because be like so many scenes are like flashing in my head. So they run the package, and Andy tries to give Monica her props, saying like, you were so relatable about like feeling some type of way about not matching up to these ladies with the funds and the money. And then she was like, I think everyone feels like they don't belong. I was like, you don't belong in this group. I think that's the problem with people, is we are all like this, especially like when you're younger. Like, you want to be a part of the popular group, you want to be a part of the cool kids group, and we've seen it time and time before, when you get into that group and then you realize you have nothing in common with them, and that it's not really fulfilling or cool to be in that group, and then people leave the group. I think that's the issue. Monica, to me, like Heather, lacks self-esteem, because why are you this pressed to be a part of a group that you don't meet the standards of? You don't have a husband. You don't have the money for it. And honestly, you don't really need to have a husband, but you definitely need to have the money. And that's not something you've had. And the fact that you felt so compelled to keep bringing up about how tone deaf Lisa is when you were scratching and surviving and itching to be on a show about wealthy women says a lot about how you view people. Monica to me is the worst type of hater. You hating on somebody but you want to be them. It'd be different if you hated them and you was just like, I would never, and you were the complete opposite of someone. But Monica hates on these ladies because she doesn't have what they have and she wants it. It's wild to me. Wild. They then start talking about the 6K ring, and Monica was like, it wasn't really about her losing the ring, it was about her constantly saying 60K, 60K, 60K. And Lisa chimes in and she's like, I only said 60K like 3 times. And I said, girl, I don't know. No, Lisa, you said it more. And Lisa ends up saying it was more so about the sentimental value, and production backed her up. They didn't show anything of Lisa saying it was really about the 60K. And then Lisa starts to get emotional. She was being dramatic because her eyes did get watery, but like I was like, Lisa, okay. But we find out that I guess after she had her second son, that she didn't know if she was going to be able to have kids anymore, and her husband gifted her the ring saying like, it's okay, like we're gonna get through this. So when she sees the ring, she thinks about her family. And then Monica thought she got Lisa by saying, well, because I think Lisa said, well, the ring is 50K now. And Monica was like, well, didn't you say the ring was new? And Lisa was like, no, I said this ring, the ring I got on now, which is new, is 58. I think she said 58K. The one that I lost was 60K. I get new rings all the time. I said, okay, girl, flex. And what's funny is Lisa pulled out a tweet where she was like, I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, I can be as mad as I want about a ring. It's my ring and you don't know what it really meant to me. But it's funny, like Lisa was like, it's kind of crazy that you are talking about me and my ring, but you bought a knockoff of my ring and was wearing it at BravoCon. Somebody's obsessed. And honestly, y'all, Monica is obsessed with Lisa. Monica hates Lisa because she wants to be Lisa. The whole entire time this reunion I was watching, every time Lisa moved or said something or got into it with somebody, Monica was squirming in her seat. She was saying stuff under her breath. She was making faces. And it's like, you really don't like her because you want what she has. Because I promise you, if Monica had the money that she had with Lisa, she probably wouldn't feel inferior to Lisa, and she probably would try to be Lisa's friend even more. Because you can't tell me throughout the season that even though Monica was going back and forth with Lisa, she wanted to be her friend. Just off the strength of her being so mad when Meredith and Lisa semi-made up when they was on that boat after Monica made it seem that Meredith was the one sending them DMs about the Greek mafia. So they get into an argument about the ring because Lisa is looking at Monica as she's telling this story, and Monica's like, why are you looking at me like that? I feel like you guys are the ones that started that rumor that I stole your ring. And Heather was like, no, we didn't. And Lisa was like, no, I didn't. And then Monica's like, well, why didn't you come online and defend me? And Lisa was like, because I didn't feel like I had to. I said, well, at least she honest. And then Heather was like, well, I thought you stole it, but I didn't say nothing. And then Monica's like, there you go. And Heather's like, yeah, but I didn't say you stole it, but I thought it. And I'm like, yeah, Monica, like, and by the time the rumor was about like coming out about you stealing it, this is when they found out that you were reality Von Teese. They were not going to defend you, lady. Like, they were not going to stick their neck out there for you. We then get more information where they all start arguing. It's Angie, Lisa, and Heather. Angie, Lisa, Heather, and Monica going back and forth. Angie chimes in, and that's when Monica calls her a bench-warming bitch. And they're like, Monica was really coming at Angie. And Angie was like, what did she say? What did she say? And then Lisa was like, oh, she called you a bench-warming bitch. And Angie was like, I'm a bench-warming bitch, but you was trying to get up like, I'm where you want to be. And they were going back and forth. They then started talking about Jen Shaw and how Monica like relationship with Jen Shaw, like how did it come to be? Monica says that at first her and Jen, like she was Jen's assistant, but then it morphed into them being friends, and then now they hate each other. And then we find out that Monica was working for free. And I was glad that everybody, including Andy, was like, why were you working for free? She's like, well, I was her friend. I was like, girl, what? And then she tried to say that she was working for Jen because she needed a friend. So then Heather, pulls into her purse, pulls out her phone and was like, really, Monica, you was trying to be her friend? And she plays it where Monica says, I can be like Kim Kardashians. They were assistants and look at them now. Because we all know Kim K started off being like an assistant and like I think like an organizer for Paris Hilton. And now, Kim is Kim. And so like Monica's like, what does that prove, Heather? And she was like, it proves that you didn't have good intentions around being around Jen Shaw. So stop acting like it. And that's the thing about Monica. Monica is acting like she's some social justice freedom fighter warrior. Well, we all know that she wanted to be friends with Jen so she could be on the show. She made it on the show, but just be honest and be like, I wanted to be her friend because I knew she was filming this show. Monica is like, well, she started filming the show. She was like, I didn't know she filmed the show. You're lying. Because you started to work with her after she filmed season 1. So you definitely knew who she was because Utah is about this big. And especially in y'all's community, so everybody knew everybody. So Monica is like, yeah, I just admit it. So then she kind of flip-flopped on her story about how she found out or how she helped with the FBI. Because Monica said that her friend reached out. At first, I think she said her friend told her that Jen was getting arrested. But then now she switched it to her friend reached out and said, things don't look right over there with Jen. It's time for you to get away from her. Either way, the story isn't matching up and Monica has changed it several times. We still on Monica. And so they talk about, well, how did you really become a part of this show? And she was like, I auditioned like everyone else. I sent them an email saying, let me see what she said. She said, I sent them saying that your ratings suck and they're trash and you need somebody here to spice it up, so call me. Production being shady actually showed the email. Monica also tells us that she wrote in as Monica Fowler, and this is what Monica said. And what's shady is how they said Monica's actual email to casting. She said this: reaching out in regards to your casting call, would love more information on what's needed to be done or how to move forward. You guys need a feisty, excommunicated Latina on the show immediately. I'm your girl, Monica F. So she lying again. She suffers from the same disease as Mia, diabetes. Just lying. So Andy, the face Andy made when she was like, so it sucks. The ratings suck. Like he was like, and that's the weird thing is like when Monica applied, she applied for email production during the filming of season 2, and she wanted to be on season 3, but instead Angie was on season 3. I think season 2 is when the feds got them off of the got Jen off that bus, and she had had them poetic justice braids in her head. And I'm like, the ratings were fine for seasons 2 and 3. So I don't get what Monica was saying as that being a flex. I can see if she put this in for season 3 going on to season 4 now that Jen was like in jail, because Jen carried the show on her back. But like to say that during season 2 so you could be on season 3 was weird. Was really weird. And I'm also surprised she didn't add in there that she was Jen Shaw's assistant. But okay, so they also talked to Monica about her divorce. Andy was like, how do you feel? Your divorce is finalized. And she was like, honestly, we were already separated for 2 years, so it really didn't mean that much to me. She's getting $6,600 in child support. So Andy was like, that's a good thing. Monica trying to act like it's not that big of a deal. I was like, girl, you hardly have money. I know you happy for this. We find out that her company is valued at zero, has zero value, and everyone on the couch is like, how, when we bought stuff? And Monica basically lets them know, I guess they found this out in her court documents for her divorce, that she had to close everything during COVID. Now, the girls were shading Monica as well at this point, because you got Whitney being like, oh, my business went up during the pandemic. And then Meredith was like, well, I've been seeing online that a lot of people been buying stuff but not getting their stuff. And then Heather was like, I bought blankets and other things and still ain't got my product yet. And Monica was like, yeah, we had to refund a lot of people their money. And Meredith was like, okay, refunding a lot of people their money. So we then start talking about the group and how they were trying to get back to a better place. So, you know, they showed us Whitney versus Meredith, Lisa versus Meredith, Heather versus Whitney, then Lisa versus Whitney. And so they first talk about where does Meredith and Lisa stand? And they're building a new friendship. I don't know. I don't know if I was married, if I could ever be friends with Lisa with that hot mic moment. But it just seems like Lisa is kind of determined to believe anything negative about Meredith. But they both are saying that, like, they're starting anew and trying to be in a new place now. Especially, like, you know, they had the hot mic moment. Then we had the moment about, oh, girl, you know, sucking, you know what, for tickets at the game. So now they just trying to build in a new place and not start backwards. Then they talking about Whitney and Heather. And, you know, their relationship always up and down. And I don't care anymore. So then they talk about Meredith's deflecting. They talk about how every time Meredith gets confronted, she brings up something to deflect. And Meredith is like, no, I bring up things that are important. They showed them when she was like sitting at that table, like, there are children going through some serious things. I always feel like Meredith be on something. It's just, it be throwing me off. But pretty much Meredith was saying how the information about her friend's child, possibly, I think she said possibly being disabled for their lives or actually being disabled. She had gotten that information at the beginning of their trip when they were all hanging out, when they were they in Palm Springs for the Trixie Motel? And she was just like, it was just a buildup of things. And then by that time, you know, I had been drinking and then I was overwhelmed. I just like exploded. And so Meredith ends up saying, like, because when I know I'm, like, she says, the reason why I disengage, and y'all know when Meredith be disengaging, it annoys me. And I talked about that in my Chitty Chat video, so check it out. But Meredith pretty much said that, like, I disengage when I feel as though, like, the outcome isn't going to be positive. We're not going to get anywhere, and I don't want to be that way. So I just disengage. And I was like, I can understand that. And I can also see why somebody would be like, I'm disengaging from this. I no longer want to have this conversation. But then it kind of doesn't work for like reality TV. But in real life, it makes sense. Then Lisa says that she gets where Meredith is coming from because she can be the same way. And she was like, with this perspective of finding out that you said that like you had just gotten that unfortunate information about your friend's child, it makes sense why you would bring that up now. But we didn't see that because you didn't tell us that. And Meredith's whole thing is that she feels as though nobody asks her what's going on. So why would I tell you if I don't feel like I would be supported or respected? So then Lisa and Whitney get into it about it because Lisa feels like she understands where Meredith is coming from because she feels like that's what happens when it comes to when she speaks about things. She was like, I feel like y'all don't be speaking my language. Like I speak East Coast, y'all speak West Coast. I said, girl, no. So then a viewer question is asked to Angie where it's like, Angie, why were you okay to forgive Monica when she was the one that was spreading the gay rumors about her husband? And Angie's whole thing is like, well, when I met up with Monica, she was crying. She was acting like everything was like she was really remorseful. We then started talking about her family. Then Angie's like, I just gave Monica a lot of grace. She also was like, she felt as though since Meredith had hurt Lisa, then that she realized she felt like Meredith could be capable of this. But she also, in the back of her mind, felt like Monica was really the culprit of everything. But she just didn't want to believe it because she felt like Monica was being honest with her, even though she had an inkling that like, maybe this girl is full of it. So then Lisa and another question is like, how does Angie feel about Lisa calling her weak and a liar? And Lisa was like, I called her weak and a liar because one, I go to Greek Easter. I'm feuding with Monica off the strength of us being friends, and I'm trying to be loyal to you because you're my friend. But then, by the way, you're in the middle of this, and you didn't tell me that you and Monica are cool now. So I got where Lisa was coming from. I totally got where Lisa was coming from because Lisa's like, you didn't tell me anything. So I'm over here beefing with this girl by way, like, because I want to have your back, but you didn't tell me that you and her had made up. So then Meredith chimes in and she was like, yeah, you were lying by omission. So that's why she called you a liar. And Lisa's like, yeah. And then Angie's whole thing is like, I'm not weak and I'm not a liar. We've had a lot. And she's like telling Lisa, we've had a lot of conversations where, you know, I have stood up for you and I stood up for myself. So I'm not weak and I'm not a liar. I didn't know what to like. I think Angie was like, I wasn't sure which way to go. I guess I should have told Lisa that me and Monica had made up, but I didn't know how to do it. And I was like, yeah, Angie, but you still should have told Lisa. Because Lisa was like, I think Lisa already didn't like Monica, but then she really didn't like Monica when she felt like Monica was the one that was helping spread these rumors about Angie's husband because they're friends. So now it's like, I got more reasons not to like her. And I'm doing all of this stuff, cussing this girl out, going toe to toe with her. And then we at the Greek Easter and you and her are cool. And I look stupid because I'm trying to help you. And I think that's more so what Lisa was mad about, is that she looked stupid. I don't think she cared that Monica and Angie, I think she cared to a certain extent that Monica and Angie got cool again. But I think it was the fact that Angie didn't tell her. So now she was like, I look pressed and stressed and in duress while you over here buddy with the girl. Okay. So then they kind of hop off that conversation and they get to Whitney and Lisa's whole situation, where Whitney starts to, I don't know why. Whitney was irrelevant for me this episode. Like, she just didn't add anything. She starts going back and forth with Lisa about her ghosting her and about her being self-centered, and them saying that Lisa's whole thing is kind of similar to Meredith, where she was like, Lisa's like, I told y'all I'm like a bulldog. If you piss me off, I attack and I keep going and I don't let go. She was like, I take space so I don't get that way with y'all. And then I think Whitney was like, well, can we agree that instead of you ghosting us, just tell me like you need space? Because I guess that hurt Whitney's feelings. Whitney wasn't making sense. Then they made the bad leather reference. Bad what? I always thought that was a lame name to give a group of people. But I was like, okay. And then Whitney was like, that's so shady, Andy. It wasn't. It was corny and it was lame. So we then get to the whole rumors and nastiness and all of that stuff. And this is where Meredith was getting on my nerves because she was playing semantics in the word game. Because she was like, they were like, well, why would you say, I think Andy was like, well, you said you knew rumors about the husbands. Because Meredith did say, do you want to talk about the husbands? Because we could talk about the husbands. And Angie was like, because this is the thing, Angie to me was hella annoying the first couple of episodes, because she was like a gnat, always wanting to have an issue with Meredith. But I felt like in this moment with Meredith, when asked about on the reunion, like, was she dangling a carrot in front of the people so they would ask her about the rumors or somebody would say the rumors, I do think Meredith wasn't being all the way forthcoming. I don't think Meredith wanted to talk about the rumors that she knew. I just think she wanted to throw it out there as like a warning shot, like, you keep testing me, you keep bothering me, if you keep trying me, I'm going to retaliate. So I'm trying to tell you to back up off me. Because I do think it's really weird for Meredith to be like, well, I wasn't going to say anything to damage her marriage. But it's like, well, you said you had something to say about her husband that could affect her and her husband. And Meredith's whole thing is like, well, I never said nothing about her marriage, about the rumor being about her marriage. I said it was about her husband. Saying something is, and I'm like, girl, saying something is about somebody's husband is the same thing as saying something about someone's marriage. Because either way, if you say the husband was cheating, he is gay, he money laundering, he got a drug problem, he's stealing, he doing illicit things, he had illegal things he has no business doing, and that's going to affect Angie and her husband's situation. So I was like, Meredith, you sound crazy right now, girl. Just own the fact that you said it. Do I believe Meredith would threw the rumor out there? I don't think so, because I feel like Meredith, when it comes to rumors, I feel like Meredith is tired of all of that and tired of being accused and being a part of that. So I don't really think she would have brought up the rumors. I really don't think she would have said it, even if she was pressed really hard. I feel like Angie would have had to back her like all the way into a corner for Meredith just to haul off and just go off and talk about whatever she knew about Angie and her husband. So then they talk about Whitney and Justin. Girl, Whitney and Justin's storyline was fake. And like I told y'all in my chitty chat video, when Whitney's storylines fall through, she always runs back to beefing with Heather. Her whole storyline with her husband didn't make sense. You were mad at him for not wearing his ring, and then now you're all cool with it because he's wearing the ring around his neck, and you realize it was too big. I saw something online that really made me think about like Whitney and Justin's relationship. Someone was like, Whitney got with Justin when he had funds, kind of like how Mia got with Gordon. But now that Whitney, because I feel like Whitney is the cause of why that man lost his job. That weird thing they did last season was so weird. Didn't nobody want to see that. And that's the thing, you live in Utah, a very like strict and very conservative, staunch community. Why were y'all doing that like bodysuit? Weird. It was weird. It was weird. And so I feel like now that he doesn't have the funds or the money that she was accustomed to, now she got issues with Justin, or the things that she already had issues with Justin, they're just extra heightened because they ain't got no money. Because this the way she wrapped that up, she was like, no, we're good now. We're better. And I was like, girl, then what was the beef about? Because you had people really thinking y'all was about to get a divorce. So then we get to Angie and the whole gay rumors situation. So Angie was like, I feel like people were confused about me knowing about the rumors. And I was too, because I remember Angie saying like, oh, she heard the rumors before. So I was like, I didn't understand why she was mad at Meredith. Where Angie explains that when her and her husband got together like 30 something years ago, she was saying that people thought he was gay because one, he was good looking, he worked at the hair salon, and he kept himself together, and he had long hair. And they were always thought he was gay, but then people would be like, no, his wife is over there. So once they saw me, the rumors stopped. But now to be here on national television and they come back again, I was angry because now you're saying this. And then they showed the clip of the husband crying because he was like, I don't even care about the whole gay thing. It's about the infidelity. And our daughter's going to see that and think that I'm cheating on you. And he was really upset about that. And then Angie made the comment where she was like, this wouldn't have been nothing because Meredith really didn't say anything. But Monica was the one that brought the rumor to national TV like a rat out of the sewer. And Monica laughs, but she was like, girl, that's all you got. I thought it was funny. Like, don't even like, I put this on Twitter where I was like, which one was better? Do you think someone being called a bench warming, you know what, bitch, or a rat out of the sewer is worse? I felt like I liked Angie's better, but I think Monica delivered bench warming be better. Like, it was very, you bench warming. And then she kept arguing back and forth. So Monica and Angie start going off about it. And Angie is like, I really didn't know. Like, I didn't know that it wasn't Meredith. I thought it was Meredith, but it turned out it was Monica because Monica was the one that said it on national television. So Monica was like, well, I wasn't the one that started the rumor. Angie was like, I know you didn't start the rumor, but you brung it to TV. And Andy even co-signed and was like, yeah, you did bring it to TV. So you're kind of the one that's in the wrong. So then they talk about Meredith and the whole spreading legs comment. And Meredith, Angie said she said what she said because she had heard that Meredith and her husband were having issues and seeing other people. Meredith was like, I would never mess with, like, as women, I wouldn't do that. I said, Meredith, shut up. Because Angie did make sense. She was like, so if I'm going back and forth with you, I'm just supposed to sit there and take it and rise above it. And I'm not supposed to bring, like, you're not going to bring up old stuff. And Meredith never answered the question. She was like, no, I'm gonna, like, she was like, I'll rise above it. I said, Meredith, hush, because if someone's really coming at your neck, you're gonna do any and everything to back them off of you. So I didn't fault Angie for saying the whole "you spread your legs are open all the time" kind of comment, because once she explained why she said it, I was like, okay, I get it. And then I feel like Meredith was capping. Meredith was such capping, talking about I would never. As women, I hate when women do that. When they're like, as women, why are we tearing each other down? You're on a reality show that's built off of cattiness. It is what it is. It is what it is. So then Angie and Meredith start going back and forth, and then Meredith pulls out her list where she reads, because I forgot what Angie said, but Angie said something to Meredith that pissed her off, kind of like trying to say that like she ain't really do that much to Meredith. And then Meredith was like, you said I had multiple personalities, you said I was about to get fired, that's why we were beefing, you said that I used my son, you threatened me, you threatened to put a hit on my family, you threatened me in the cave. And she was like, those are the only things I can think about. And then Angie was like, I definitely believe I activated Meredith. Then she said, then Meredith said, you said I was a trampoline with eyes. And then when Angie was like, well, I'd rather be called that because that was a compliment because you have tight skin, not wrinkly skin. I said, Angie, shut up. Shut up. That did not make any sense. But then Angie did apologize where she was like, yeah, I would like to move forward with you. And I think they are going to move forward. But Angie was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. Because Angie was being like a gnat at the beginning of the season. It was a lot going on with Angie. So then we have the last scene where Monica, like before the episode closes out for part 1, Monica and Angie like get into it, and Angie basically says, like, honestly, the person I should have had the heat for is Monica, because Monica was spreading rumors about me since we started. And she was like, I didn't have she was like, it's different between me and Meredith, because Meredith never pretended to be my friend, but you pretended to be my friend, and I'm finding out that you're saying all these things about me. When I tell you Angie ate Monica up at the end, and if you don't think she did, you lying, because when she told that lady that you are setting a bad example for your kids out here buying a purse that you don't have the funds for, that's irresponsible. All I could do is say, ooh, she got you right there. And then Monica was like, don't bring up my effing kids. I said, well, girl, did she lie? Did she lie? And then Monica ends up saying, you're just glad that you finally got on this show. And then Andy was like, she was like, I think Monica said, you've always been trying to get on this show and you're just happy you just got on this show. And then Andy was like, you've done the same thing. You've done the same. When I tell you they was fine, like Monica. See, this is what I need people to understand. Monica is the type of person that, like, they try to overtalk you the same way Lisa does, and they try to, like, increase their volume. So you have to be quicker to get to your digs and your reads if you arguing with Monica. That's honestly what Angie needed to do. Angie just also needed to put a little bit more bass in her voice, because I'm telling you, when she told Monica, you're an irresponsible example of, like, a mother because you basically out here spending the little money you have on a Chanel bag that you can't afford just to keep up with the Joneses, I said, you got that girl right there. You got her right there. And I said, okay, Angie, you got I cackled. I said, ooh, Angie. Angie said, I got time today. So I'm definitely interested to see how that fight continues, because I don't care what none of y'all say. Angie ate Monica up. She really did. And Monica was just kind of like, how effing dare you? And then I think Angie said, girl, F off. F off. She was like, I think Monica called Angie a POS, and then Angie was like, girl, F off. I said, okay, Angie. And I watched this during the uncensored version on Peacock, so them F-bombs was dropping, and Angie was saying F this, F that. I said, okay, Angie, okay. But that is the end of part 1. Please drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts and how you feel about part 1, like whose team you on. I'm not really team anybody other than who makes sense to me, and that's just how it is. But yeah, y'all, drop down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you want some more. And as always, be bravely authentic. Deuces.